Welcome back to our maths class. A warm good morning to one and all. Yesterday we discussed inverse variation. What do you mean by inverse variation? When a quantity is increasing, another quantity is decreasing. It is inverse variation. In inverse, when two quantities are inverse, then x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, which is equal to x3 y3, which is equal to a constant. And direct variation means x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2 is equal to x3 by y3 is a constant. So these are the two types of variations, direct and inverse. Direct means x1 by y1 is a constant. Inverse means x1 y1 is a constant. Okay. Today we are going to discuss exercise 10C. In 10C, unitary method. Yesterday we did inverse variation in table form, and in 10C is consist of unitary method. We can do this in unitary method also. So you just write the heading unitary method. Already you know what is unitary method. A given quantity, suppose cost of 5 apples 50 rupees. Find the cost of 20 apple. Then what to do? First we have to find cost of 1 apple by division method. Then finding 20 apples by multiplication. Okay. So heading unitary method. Unitary method. Exercise 10C. Question number 2. If 15 men can complete a piece of work in 30 days. 15 men can complete a piece of work in 30 days. In how many days will 18 men complete it? So this one we can do in table form. If any doubt in your answer, you can do a table method in your working column. Okay, in exam, if they are stressing unitary method, just to do it with the first you do it with the table form. Then you can check your answer. So 15 men can complete a piece of work in 30 days. 50 men and days 30. How many days will 18 men complete? So first here also we can apply unitary method. So how to do? 15 men can complete a work in. It is given. 15 men can complete a work in 30 days. Okay, 15 men can complete a work in 30 days. Now, one man. This is unitary method. So first one man can do work in dash days. 30 into 50, not 30 by 15. Why? Because this is inverse variation, you know. First you think whether it is inverse, you know. So if one quantity is increasing, other is decreasing. Same way 15 men complete a work in 30 days. One man means if there is only one man, then number of days is increase, you know. If number of workers are more, then days are less. 15 men 30 days, and one man means it will take more days to complete the work. If only one man is there for the work, then more days taken to complete the work. So this is inverse. So here we are multiplying 30 into 15, not 30 by 15. Actually we are to find one quantity, we are dividing, you know, but in inverse relation we are multiplying 30 into 15 days. Okay. Now 18 men, our question is 18 men can do the work is equal to 30 into 15 by 18. To find 18 we are dividing. To find one quantity, usually to find one quantity we are dividing, and for finding more quantity we are multiplying, you know. But in inverse relation, to find one quantity we are multiplying, and to find more quantity we are dividing. Okay. In usual unitary method, To find one quantity we are dividing, and to find more quantity we are multiplying. But in inverse variation, to find one quantity we are multiplying, and to find more quantity we are dividing, just opposite of usual unitary method. So 30 into 15 by 18, cancellation, 18 and 30, 6 tables, 3 6 are 18, 5 6 are 30. So 5 into 15 by 3, again 3 and 15 get cancelled in which table? 3's table. So 5 into 5, 25 days. 18 men can do the work in 25 days. Okay, clear? So first 15 men can complete a piece of work in 30 days, and one man can do the piece of work in 30 into 15. Now division, remember multiplication. Okay, now 18 men can do the work in 30 into 15 by 18. It is 25. Okay. Next, third question. In order to complete a work in 28 days, 60 men are required. How many men will be required if the same work is to be completed in 40 days? If 60 men are there, then 28 days, number of days 28, number of workers 60. Then how many men will be required if the same work is to be completed in 40 days? Number of days are increasing, 40 days. Actually, it is 28. For 28 days, 60 men or 60 workers. Then for 40 days, how many workers? So, see, 28 days, 60 workers. To complete within 28 days, 60 workers are there. And if it takes more days, that means 40 days means number of workers are very less, That's why they are taking 40 days to complete. That's why they are taking 40 days. So, here also inverse relation. Inverse relation. So, we can do this in unitary method. Table, actually it is, table method is easy. You can find it with the table method. To verify your answer, if you want, you can check with the table method. See, 60 men, first step, 60 men can do the work in 28 days. 60 men can do the work in 28 days. So, one man, unitary method, one man can do the work in 28 into 60 days. Unitary method, so one man can do the work in 28 into 60 days. That means here multiplication, because inverse relation, to find one quantity we are multiplying. Now X man can do the work. We don't know how many, and so X man can do the work in 28 into 60 by X days. One man, 28 into 60. X man means 28 by 60 into X. If the number of man is increasing, so X man or X men can do the work in 28 by 60 into X days. But 28 into 60 by X is 40 days. Days is given 40 days. When we are multiplying 28 into 60 divided by X, we will get 40 days. To get number of days, we are writing the step, in previous question also we wrote the step. X man can do a work in 28 into 60 by X. That we know. 28 by 60, 28 into 60 by X is 40. So cross multiply this X and 40. 28 into 60 is 40X. 28 into 60 is 40X. So X is equal to 28 into 60 divided by 40. X is equal to 28 into 60 by 40. 0 get cancelled. 1 4s are 4. 7 4s are 28. So 7 into 6, 42 men. Okay. Number of men required is 42. Okay. Once again, same as previous question, 60 men can do the work in 28 days. So, one man can do the work in 28 into 60 days. Therefore, X man can do the work in 28 into 60 divided by X. But 28 into 60 by x we know. 40 days is given. We want to find number of men, So 28 into 60 by x is 40. So x is 28 into 60 by 40 equal to 42 men. Okay. Fourth question. A fort had provision for 450 soldiers for 40 days. After 10 days, 90 more soldiers come to the fort. Find for how many days will the remaining provision last for the same rate. Here provision for 450 soldiers for 40 days. Okay, there are food. 40 days food are there for 450 soldiers. Number of soldiers 450. Food last for 40 days. Okay, provision for 450 soldiers for 40 days means number of soldiers are 450 and food is 40 days food is there. 40 days food is there for 450 soldiers. After 10 days, 90 more soldiers come. Okay, after 10 days. So before 10 days, they are consuming the same food, So now after 10 days means 40 minus 10 we want to do. This is also we did it in column method or table method. Here we want to subtract 40 minus 10, 30 days. Now we want to calculate from 30 days. 10 days are over. Now 30 days are remaining. Okay. So, see here. Fourth question, after 10 days. For 450 soldiers, provision are sufficient for 40 minus 10, 30 days. Okay. After 10 days, for 450 soldiers, provision are sufficient for 40 minus 10, it is 30 days. 30 days. This is for 450 soldier. Now, according to unitary method, for one soldier, provision are sufficient for 30 into 450. 30 into 450 because inverse relation, Okay, after 10 days, for 450 soldiers, provision are sufficient for 40 minus 10 days, that is 30 days. Now, for one soldier provision are sufficient for 30 into 450 days. Okay, now we want to calculate 90 soldiers comes more, 90 soldiers comes more. So, here 90 plus 450 equal to 540. Okay, 90 plus 450, 540. So, for 540 soldiers, the provision are sufficient for equal to 30 into 450 by 540. In actual unitary method, we are multiplying, here dividing because inverse relation. 30 into 450 by 540. The 0 and the 0 get cancelled. And 54 and 45, 9 stable. 6 5s are 54, 6 9s are 54, 5 9s are 45, 5. Okay, now the 6, 30 into 5 by 6. Now 1 6 are 6, 5 6 are 30. So 5 into 5, 25 days. Clear? 5 into 5, 20 days. 25 days. See here we want to calculate after 10 days. After 10 days. So the total 40 days are there and 450 soldiers are there. The food or the provision is for 450 soldiers for 10 days. Sorry, 40 days. So after 10 days means now there is only for 30 days. 40 minus 10 is 30 days. So for 450 soldiers, provision are sufficient for 40 minus 10, that is 30 days. Then for one soldier, provision are sufficient for 30 into 450. Now for 550, how do we get 550? 90 more soldiers came, so 90 plus 450, 540. For 540 soldiers, the provision are sufficient for 30 into 450 by 540. It is 25 days. Okay. See, you can do this if you want. If you have any doubt, you can do this in table method also. Okay. Fifth question. A garrison has sufficient provision for 480 men for 12 days. Number of men is reduced by 160. Find how long will the provision last. Okay, a garrison has sufficient provision for 480 men for 12 days. Okay, if the number of men is reduced by 160, find how long will the provision last. Actually, 12 days provision 12 days provision for 480 men are there, and the men reduced by 160. 480 reduced to 160, and we want to find how long will it the provision last. The number of men decrease, so the days will increase, if the number of men are increasing, then days will decrease, or the days will decrease, number of men increase. Okay, see, കുറേ ആൾക്കാരുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഫുഡൊക്കെ പെട്ടെന്ന് തീർന്നു പോവില്ലേ? ആളുകളുടെ എണ്ണം കുറച്ചേ ഉള്ളൂ വെച്ചാൽ നമുക്ക് കുറേ ദിവസം ഫുഡ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, ദിസ് ഈസ് ഓൾസോ സെയിം വേ. സോ ഇവൻ see, strength of garrison, strength of that garrison, strength 480, 480 men, then strength reduced by 160. Okay, strength reduced by 160. So new strength of garrison 480 minus 160. Actually it is 480, now it is reduced by 160, so what is the new strength? 480 minus 160, 320 men are there, and a provision for 480 men last for 12 days. It is given in the question. Provision for 480 men last for 12 days. Then provision for one man last for how many days? 480 into 12. Okay, provision for 480 men last for 12 days. So provision for one man last for 480 into 12 days. Okay, now provision for 320 men last for, now 320 men we want to find, equal to 480 into 12 by 320. 480 into 12 by 320. The 0 get cancelled, 0 and 0 get cancelled, and 32 and 48 table, 4 8s are 32, 6 8s are 48. Then 4 and 12, here 6, here 12, denominator 4, 1 4s are 4, 3 4s are 12, 6 3s are 18 days. Okay, 18 days. If you do in table method, then also you will get the correct answer. Okay, once again here, actually 480 men are there and provision is for 12 days. So provision for 480 men last for 12 days. Then 160 men reduced, that means now there is only 320 men. 480 minus 160, it is 320. So provision for one man last for 480 into 12. Provision for 320 men last for 480 into 12 by 320 division. Okay, 18 days. Clear? Now mark the homework. Exercise 10C 167. Just read the question at least 2 times. Then first check whether it is in direct or inverse. Direct form or inverse. If it is direct variation, how to do unitary method? First by division, then by multiplication. How to find one quantity? One quantity by division, then more quantity by multiplication. But in inverse variation, we can find one quantity by multiplication and more quantity by division. Okay, see here, question number 6. 3 by 5 quintal of wheat cost 210. Find the cost of 1 quintal of wheat. How to find? Here actual division, first division. For finding 1 quintal, this is direct variation, 1 quintal division, and 0.4 quintal multiplication. Okay, same way second one also. First find one quantity by division and 4 by 7 by multiplication. Okay, that's all for today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.